say Pugsy
not
and Wubz are winning this.
94% to 6%.
Yeah, and at that point, like, when the viewer
60-40.
vote is that drastically in one way, what are you really betting for? You're just gonna get like 50 more channel points. You put like that's just barely any. Come on, just think about the odds there. Is it even worth it at that point? You might as well just go in the other direction. Anyways, back to this matchup. We've got the Chronics from Experience and Maid for the winningest on the team composition. And then we've got Finn and Princess Bubblegum. Team Adventure Time through here.
Okay. Strong start from Experience.
Yeah, very strong start. And I worry that this is what's going to happen throughout the rest of the set. We've got 2-4 defense legends on the screen, and we've got some very hard-hitting legends on the screen against them.
Attempted recovery from Pugsy. Doesn't quite connect. Maid just looking to see if they can reposition themselves. Stall out for Experience to respawn back in. And he does. Back to the cannon, though. Fighting off stage.
You know, Maid could not have picked a less suitable cross skin for the Summer Championship. And I think he did that on purpose. I'll wait for him to say so.
Sweating the calories.
But, like, my goodness. It's like 90 degrees here in Atlanta, Georgia. And you're wearing that?
Demon Island, too.
Yeah. Well, depending on what side of Demon Island on, I think one side's like a lot colder.
Demons, it has to be hot no matter
Well,
what.
but yeah, you can look at the tear down the center. I think one side's a lot colder than the other.
Yes, there's no ice demons.
Well, Pugsy and Wubz, whether they're melting or freezing in the current climate of
No.
Demon Island, both whatever's happening is happening.
You could say they're melting Pugsy and Wubz right now for game
What's that
number 1.
fourth form? There's a lot of forms that can happen to Maid. Is it sublimation? Is that what happens when you just go from a solid to a gas?
I thought that was plasma.
No, that's a state of matter. I'm talking about like going from one state of matter.
I
to
am
another.
not a science magician.
Yeah, it's okay. We're commentators here. Let's look back to Demon Islands. Back to this match, actually. Pugsy and Wubz are struggling going up against Maid and Experience. That's going to be recovery off the top, and it's looking pretty dominant for them so far.
Yeah. I mean, you know, there is
Join
that
the dark
concept
side.
that was introduced. I believe it was at the end of Spring Championships called the Maidlusion, where Maid is one of the greatest supporting factors you could ask for in 2v2s.
Yeah.
And while we will see this at the end of the first game, maybe, the stats quantifiably are not great for Maid, but the setup potential that Maid allows for Experience is unbelievable. And we're seeing it again. The follow-up there from Maid. Then comes Experience.
Double dunked, but by 2 Gauntlet players. Wubz,
Stats are looking great for Maid.
a little outclassed, I think, in this head-to-head, and that might be what's contributing to why the viewers are also kind of like, yeah, things are rough here, because I don't think it's like, I don't think anybody would argue that when you look at the 4 players on the screen, if you were going to do a really annoying thing on Twitter and then rank them, like everybody's been doing for the players that are going to the Royale, and then at all of their ats, and then make Experience go, why even bother adding me if you're putting me at 5th in your predictions? Wubz would be last, I think, amongst these 4 players, and reasonably so. He's been around for quite a bit. PR 17. He's actually got a higher PR than Pugsy, but in terms of like legacy, I think Wubz has got the least out of all 4 on the screen, and his stats there with the damage output that he put through on Princess Bubblegum were a little lacking as well. So I'm hoping that we can see that gameplay tightened up a little bit here as we go into game number 2, because so far I feel like the Chronics are just going to carry it through to victory if we continue playing at that pace.
Yeah, and I mean, kind of going back down memory lane real quick, we had seen Maid and Experience win Spring 2v2s, 2nd in San Diego, 7th in Dallas. This is a team that's only
Pugsy.
lost against non-NA teams in 2v2s in recent memory.
Goodbye, Experience, actually?
No, not quite. Oh, no, not quite yet. Pugsy dancing with the devil right now, trying to go for the dare, unable to do so. Had to play for safety.
Yeah, Pugsy had a fantastic recovery there off that chase dodge. Barely hit his opponent to be able to get back to stage, recovered on the other side, and now is turning it into a lot of damage. This could have been a huge lead coming up for the red team, and instead it's still a huge lead. That ground pound comes through, and they can get the edge guard onto Wubz with a weapon throw. He's got a dodge left. And he makes it back, actually. I thought he was going to go down there. Another opportunity for Edgeguard here. Experience can put out the end sig. I don't really know if you use side sig in this situation, but still a really good start for the red team. They have not taken that much damage.
Yeah, I mean, this has been just a dominant factor right now. There's not a lot for me to extrapolate. It's just mostly like whenever there is like a response from Pugsy or Wubz, there's just an immediate stronger counter response from either Maid or Experience. we're kind of seeing maybe that turnaround right now. We did see the Cider come out from Pugsy. Did remove Maid with the gravity cancel D-Light into the side air, but no, even then.
He still recovers, right? They can't get these edge guards.
Yeah.
Their experience has been knocked back so many times.
There's a lot of hesitation.
They're not switching over to Maid while that recovery time is happening. Experience does finally get Sared there, and the double knockout goes in favor of Wubz, with Pugsy's one clean hit away from just going down to one stock. And during the meantime, while Pugsy's recovering, they can just focus fire over onto Wubz, like they're doing right now. Nair and a gravity cancel unlight. Maid was not able to get that pickup with the falling Dare, but the damage was still dealt, and it's 4 stocks to 3, possibly to 2. Can Wubz make it back? Ground pound avoided just narrowly there, but in the meantime, Pugsy's having some difficulty against Experience on the left side of the stage. Look at all that damage, Keg. Holy cow, Pugsy's out of there. Side sig off the right, and then Wubz, well, does what he can in a 1v2, and that's get a revenge knockout and then go back to, well, fighting the 1v2. Goodness gracious. They're so good at
What
double.
a cyclone of damage. You blink for a second, and the entire terrain of what you can see in stocks just completely change.
Get out of there, Wubz. Run for your life.
I don't think Wubz
Run
can.
the clock.
Jump for your life. Don't go down to the lava oceans, but there's no choice. Experience is just, no, you're staying down
Maid
there.
literally like sitting back comfortably in his chair, putting his controller down, taking a sip of tea,
Stretching.
being like, that's my teammate. There he is.
Just another day
See
at
him?
the office.
That's Experience. That teammate qualified for Royale, by the way.
Yeah.
That guy that never got a podium in singles got a podium in singles last week. And we're still sick at doubles. Just going to get top 3 in both events. You know what? They're going to win this one. Why not? Jeez.
Ooh. I don't. Did we ever ask you what your prediction was for 2v2s for NI?
Yeah, I said Cody and FaZe were going to win it, and I was dead wrong.
Yeah.
So it made an Experience are now there.
I don't want it to. I had this before we started.
Well, yeah, you told me. Yeah, we were talking about before the.
So
before
you could
we were on
confirm.
stream.
I was thinking, yeah, it's Maid Experience.
So you were like, I want to watch as much as Maid Experience as possible because I believe that this is the team that's going to do it in the summers. Am I paraphrasing correctly for you?
Yes.
Yeah, except, what's the caveat?
Plus, I think Maid and Experience right now in terms of NA have the best storyline for what they've accomplished up
What do
until
you mean
now.
by best storyline? Just the one you like the most?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
fair. I agree with you.
I think it's the most interesting storyline.
Yeah.
I mean, Maid and Experience, they've had their periods of lulls, but they've also had like these really dominant factors, but they've never. I mean, they
It took
won
a
Springs.
lot of top 3s for people to even
They
take
did.
Maid seriously.
But
That
they
was the big
haven't
thing with them,
won
right?
a lot until Springs, and now really the big opposition that I'm looking forward to after Summers is how can they play internationally again?
Yeah.
'Cause that's where they're really struggling right now.
Well, we'll worry about that later because we'll shout out VCX.live
Oh,
as
yeah.
much as we want, which will be the next international opportunity. But right now, this is a national opportunity here in North America. We've got Experience and Maid up 2-0 against Wubz and Pugsy, and Wubz has made the switch off of the Vrax onto the Barasa, which is something that I'm excited to see. I think Barasa's kind of like been this weird, why isn't this more of a meta pick? And Wubz as a player, I think it fits quite well as somebody who I've seen do really well in the Azoth. You have that Axe and you still have the Blasters, which you've been doing so great on in the set before this. And they do take a lead here on Demon Island in game number 3.
Yeah. Well, Axe doesn't have much of a showing there when you have just the pure firepower of Maid and Experience going forwards, at least in the beginning. We have to see the Axe come back. Blaster's now underway. Experience maybe not for this world in terms
Nah,
of
he's got
does
cannon.
make it back with
He's
the Sair.
flying around.
Yeah.
It's like Lance, but with like a faster impulse there. Goes down finally. Pugsy, surprisingly, living the longest on the screen. That D-Light Cider actually tacks on a decent amount of damage onto Maid. And you know what, Keg? Ever since Wubz switched over from Vrax to Barasa, even though I think that a lot of the work is being done by Pugsy, it's working. Oh, I can't believe Maid just went down to that. What the heck? It's 5 stocks to 3.
Ooh, I mean, yeah.
Look at Pugsy go!
The slower pace. Remember Pugsy and Wubz, we talked about in previous sets. A lot of speed, a lot of reposition values, and this is something that Maid and Experience were capitalizing on. Wubz slowing things down, having the Axe shutting down.
That was a neutral sig moment, Wubz.
Experience like that is so good. Pugsy can lose their first stock. It's about time. It's been 2 minutes in.
He, playing a 3 defense legend. First stock goes down after 2 minutes. No big deal.
Yeah, the usual.
Maid does take down Wubz down there in the air, but that music will do it. And wow, look
What
at
a
that.
turnaround.
You know what, Sparky? 9 decks Frax is fake. There you go. I mean, Wubz only did 177 damage that game.
Yeah.
That was the Pugsy show. Pugsy completely demolished Maid and Experience. I cannot say I expect it to happen in the next game, or even the game after that. I think you get one of those, and then Maid and Experience open their eyes again and start playing the game. So let's see what happens here. Wubz is going to stay on the Barasa because, I mean, if your damage is that low and all you need is presence on the screen for Pugsy to carry against a team like Maid and Experience, then so be it. That's your winning strategy. But I think Game 4 is going to play a lot different than the last game.
Well, my expectation going into this, if I'm Maid or Experience, is that, okay, well, I'm going to target Pugsy then. I'm going to make sure, like, that cannot happen again where 2.5 minutes in, you still have not lost the stock yet. This should be a very different story. But we'll have to wait and see. We go to Air Temple now. And not a lot to really talk about in the beginning here. A lot of footwork.
Yeah, on Air Temple. Platform maps are something that I think that I just like to see a little bit more whenever Pugsy's on the screen. Wubz getting sent up towards the top of the stage, but Maid taking a ton of damage. Reversal opportunity here from Pugsy, though. Neutral Sig's huge in those situations. Wubz tries to get a side sig and experiencing that dodge gone. Hunts Wubz off the left side of the stage. Maid goes low, tries to get a gauntlet there, but everybody makes it back, and no one's going down just yet, unless can Pugsy land?
Oh, gravity cancel neutral sig from Experience does not connect. Forces out the cannon, thrown away. No weapons at all for Maid or Experience. Gauntlets now returned, but Maid still weaponless, forced off stage, has to go for the unarmed side air against Pugsy to bring themselves back, but immediately met with the retaliation of Wubz. But it just keeps on going. A double KO now for Experience, removes both members of blue team all at once.
Yeah, and now fighting Wubz off the side of the stage. Gravity cancel, neutral light into the ground pound, goes for the weapon throw, dive kick comes through, goes for the ground pound as well, and Experience actually gives up his own stock, thinking that that was so guaranteed that he wasn't even going to have to bother canceling the momentum there. Goes down at the right side of the stage and actually evens things up 2-2 as Wubz manages to make it back from what could have been a really early edge guard. He doesn't get the side lane. Wubz gets the gravity cancel downsig, but not enough force on that. It scales quite well with damage, but Barasa downsig by itself sends, I think, less far than a Blaster's Endlight, and the double team combo into the recovery. No knockouts just yet, but that was a ton of damage.
No way! You have that happen to any other duo. That should have been it, but no. Only now, a little delayed, Pugsy and Wubz fall. What a turnaround.
Yeah, Maid on the blasters and doubles, just so fantastic. And here's Experience on the Onyx, goes for that landing ground pound, gets a little bit of the blast impulse onto Pugsy, and this is looking like a solid lead for the red team. They have to close things out right now if Pugsy and Wubz want a chance. Falls with a side air, no, goes for the NSYNC and some friendly fire means that could be it for the blue team. Falls with one side air, but they're not finding anything here that's going to get them any knockouts, so now they're both at the side of the stage.
There is room to spare for Maid and Experience. Climbing the ledge, Maid dodging and weaving, finds a great side sig opportunity against Wubz. Oh, one more of those and that could be it for the set. Maid falls, Pugsy going for a desperate side air, it's Experience up in the sky. Full stage control seemingly for blue team.
I think Wubz could get hit by an unarmed Sair and he would go down.
Yes.
Oh, I was wrong. Blaster Sair not knocking him out just yet. Oh, but the second swing of the gauntlet side air goes for the weapon throw downwards with Pugsy. Hold the one left of the screen. Weapon throw, pick up gravity cancel, Endlight. Experience looking for the nair there. And Pugsy actually does get the reversal, but Experience has another stock to play with. So now it's a 1v2 where Maid gets a silent recovery up the top. GG. Maid and Experience, 3-1 Wubz and Pugsy. And Chronix moves forward into top 8. Is that 3 Chronixes now?
I think so.
Let me check.
We're chronically going Chronix.
It is. Oh, if that's what Umizoomi and AO Blue are playing,
do you think it's gonna be double Chronix again?